In a small village, far away, two boys were born not too far apart. One was named Yusuf, a boy raised in a poor but honest family. The other was Khalid, a boy raised in a house where tricks and shortcuts were seen as cleverness. Yusuf's parents taught him every day. "My son, earn little, but let it be halal. Never take what is not yours." But Khalid's older brother would whisper to him, "Why struggle? A clever lie will make you rich faster than years of hard work." And so, even as children, their paths began to separate. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, "Whoever cheats us is not one of us." My dear listener, which path would you choose? The path of truth or the path of lies? Tell me, do you think honesty lasts longer, or fraud? As children, both Yusuf and Khalid began selling in the village marketplace. Yusuf polished his apples, weighed them fairly, and smiled kindly at his customers. Sometimes he earned only a few coins, but the people always came back. They said, "This boy is trustworthy." Khalid also sold fruits, but his ways were different. He hid spoiled fruits underneath the fresh ones. At first, he made more money than Yusuf. But soon, customers whispered, "Don't buy from Khalid, his fruits are not what they seem." Woe to those who give less than due, who when they take a measure from people, take in full. But if they give by measure or weight, they cause loss. As you listen today, fraud shines quickly like fire, but honesty glows steadily like the sun. What would you choose, fast money that disappears, or lasting trust that grows? As they grew into their teenage years, life tested them further. Yusuf worked hard every single day. He carried heavy baskets for merchants, polished shoes for travelers, and even swept shops for a little food. He came home tired, but when he placed his earnings before his mother, his heart was full of peace. Khalid, however, grew bolder. He charged travelers double the price, lied about his goods, and bragged to his friends about how easily people believed him. To outsiders, he looked smart and clever. But to Allah, he was only digging a hole for himself. Allah warns in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 188. "Do not consume one another's wealth unjustly, nor give it as bribery to rulers so that you may consume a portion of the wealth of others sinfully, while you know." Fraud may look sweet, but it poisons the heart. Tell me, who do you think slept more peacefully at night, Yusuf, with his little but honest earnings, or Khalid, with his piles of money from lies? Years passed, and the boys became men. Yusuf was still not rich, but everyone in the village knew him as the honest one. Then, one day, a wealthy merchant arrived with his caravan. He looked at the villagers and said, "I need someone I can trust to manage my business. Who among you is trustworthy?" The people pointed to Yusuf. "He may not be rich, but his word is pure. He never cheats, and he never lies." The merchant asked about Khalid. But the villagers shook their heads. "He is clever, yes, but he is not trustworthy. Do not put your wealth in his hands." And so, Yusuf was chosen. His honesty opened a door that fraud could never unlock. Allah says in the Qur'an, chapter 28, verse 26. "Indeed, the best one you can hire is the strong and the trustworthy." Trust is the true currency. Without it, wealth is worthless. If someone gave you responsibility today, would they call you honest or dishonest? And so, the destinies of Yusuf and Khalid became clear. Yusuf became the merchant's right-hand man. With every deal he made, his honesty shone brighter. People trusted him with their wealth, their goods, and even their secrets. Soon, Yusuf gained wealth. But more importantly, he gained respect, peace, and blessings from Allah. Khalid, however, faced the result of his lies. Customers abandoned him, neighbors avoided him, and his stall grew empty. He sat alone, with only a handful of coins, wishing he had chosen differently. Years later, children in the village pointed at Yusuf and said, "Look at him, he worked hard, and Allah raised him." But when they passed Khalid's empty stall, they whispered, "That is what happens when you choose fraud." The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, "The truthful merchant will be with the prophets, the truthful, and the martyrs on the day of judgment." To me D. My dear listeners, fraud may bring coins, but honesty brings blessings. Deceit may win today, but truth always wins tomorrow. So I ask you, which path will you choose? The fleeting road of fraud, or the blessed path of hard work and honesty? Share this story so others may also learn that true success lies not in tricks, but in trust, not in fraud, but in faith. Whoever does righteous deeds, male or female, while being a believer, we will surely grant them a good life. Qur'an 16 verse 97.